video game improv for charity fundraising. You're probably wondering what that all means, and well, it's kind of a weird title. The best is I'll just introduce myself first. I'm the one in Denis. My name is Denis Silvestri. I'm an actor from New York. But first, the most important thing is take notice if any emergencies do go on, walk, do not run to the nearest gap in the hole right there. Just walk straight through there. In case anything bad goes wrong, this is kind of, 45 minutes, just like every other panel here at TooManyGames. And yeah, I got some hoodies and stuff to give away that were provided me by Twitch and a few other friends over at the PLEASSSEE Foundation, charity that I fundraise for. So we'll give those out at the end. Pretty much, so if you came to this panel, I had to come up with a lovely description to describe what I do on Twitch. So I'll just read it to you guys. Have you ever played a sandbox MMORPG and thought you could create an interesting story within that game's world? Well, it's not only possible, it can make a real difference IRL. Meet UORP, Ultimate Online Role-Playing Tournaments. A group of Twitch streamers who role-play and improvise within the MMORPG Ultimate Online. They broadcast their adventures on Twitch, and in just 8 shows, they raised $15K for charity. I want you guys to welcome all my cast members who could not make it today. Chris, hell yeah. Chris Mack, our charity fundraiser, our charity leader, the guy who runs the Eric Williams Foundation. He's actually in Florida right now doing another convention. He was supposed to be here with me, my wingman, and my other 2 improv group members. They one has a son's birthday, and the other one couldn't make it. At this panel, you were supposed to be able to listen to a CEO and mental health professional talk about the impact that gaming fundraising has on the mental health field, and hear from experienced actors on how to shift structure and stream your gaming into theatrical form. I do have a video for my charity guy. You'll see that soon. And my other guys, they were just too busy because we just finished up a show last weekend where we raised $1,200 for the Eric Williams Foundation, bringing our total at least around $15,000 so far, which is pretty good for making up something out of nothing. So that's pretty much what we do. So we put on shows on Twitch. As I said, my name is Denis Silvestri. I'm the one in Denis. You find me on Twitch, Instagram. That's pretty much about it. I run a Sonic the Hedgehog account on Instagram as well. Collections of Sonic the Hedgehog. I went to school in New York City, not New York City, but slightly above New York City. I've toured theatrical plays to Chile and a few other places in the States, and I've also been in a crap ton of Lifetime movies, like in the background. I worked in at least, I'd say, 20 different German Lifetime films, and I'd say 10 or so American Lifetime films. And extra work sucks, so don't ever get into it. It pays the bills, but it's not really worth it. If you're there for like the longest amount of time, you do nothing all day long, then you walk, and then you're done. So it's boring. So I'm a Twitch streamer. I started in 2015 with camera because I was in grad school, didn't have any friends. I was like 10 years older than everyone. So I'm like, all right, I need to try to find my own kind of community, my own niche, my own kind of people who I can relate to. Because everyone who I was talking to, they're all like, oh my God, the Kardashians. And I was like, geez, I do not relate to these youngins at all. So I found my own kind of, friends from an online form, online community. I went to college in New York State, Dutchess, Binghamton, Stonewood, went over to New York State, and I'm currently working at the University of New Paltz. So what I do is I put on a live stream of theatrical improv shows for the purpose of raising funds for a specific charity. So basically what I do is I write, direct, and I animate all these little improv, 2-hour structured shows, and I've set them in an MMORPG, sandbox-based game. So therefore, you're not really required to do anything, or you have the freedom to pretty much do whatever you want. And that's exactly what we do. So we just have shenanigans, create this hybrid type of video game / real-life actor performance. I don't have since we don't have internet here, I don't have a clip of actually the final product of what we do. I have the cinematics of which we open up all of our shows, and I'll show you what this style of format I have is. Why do I do this? Sadness, because, this is the way, as an actor, you're not always going to get cast for things, so sometimes you're going to have to make your own type of game, which is what I inherently did. So you audition for 100 things, and maybe you'll get called back for 2 or 3 things, and maybe you'll get one of those roles sometimes. I was getting tired of wasting all my time trying to, do stuff for other people and their vision. I'm like, all right, it's about time I sat down and evaluate my priorities and see what I want to do. And coming up with this type of different style performance was what I've been toying with for years. It's a way to express like your feelings and, for me, personal loss through an art form, which I use through cinematically, through improv. Basically, I structure these stories about either loss, about other things I might be feeling in life. Basically, in 2020, around COVID time, I lost multiple amount of people, like numerous amount of people from cancer of all things. So I lost my ex-girlfriend to cancer, I lost an artistic director and the assistant artistic director, all at the same theater that I work at. So going back to work at that theater after COVID, I can't do it. It's just too many memories there. So I wasn't getting gigs at that theater anymore. So I'm like, all right, I have all this free time from when I used to rehearse at night. What can I do? So I started finding like-minded people who wanted to put on these online type shows, and we formed improv groups, like little online improv groups, and that's really what kind of strung me along, because I'm not going to sit there. Therapy is for most people. You can talk to someone about your feelings, but I'd rather put my feelings into a role, into an acting gig, into something. I always tell people, like, I leave all my emotions for the stage. If you see me off the stage, I'm just going, yeah, what's up, how you doing? I'm going to be pretty dead, but I like to, reserve my rage, my pride, my emotion for something that I know I'm going to have the stage for and be able to communicate a different story to viewers. Pretty much, I thought the best way to kind of get people to be into this weird kind of concept of hybrid video game / improv performance would be to use an MMO. It's the perfect opportunity. You have all the right circumstances for it. You can set whatever you want. Like, say you don't even have to do a quest for Warcraft. You can just go exploring and journal in your book and then just narrate it. And all of a sudden, you got yourself a whole different type of stream, a whole different type of experience. Pretty much making something out of nothing is my main. That's all we have to work with as an actor, and it's pretty much what I live by. Living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. That's what I do. So who do I do it for? I mentioned it before, the Erica Legacy Foundation. The Erica Legacy Foundation is a Canadian nonprofit. They are dedicated to raising funds and providing financial support for the enhancement of suicide prevention, programming, and support. So Chris Mack is however you say his last name. I call him Chris Mack, that's his abbreviated name. He is the executive director of the Erica Legacy Foundation. I have a video here from him. He's supposed to be here with me. He's gonna just tell you briefly, real quick, about what the Erica Legacy does and why gaming fundraising is important to them.
Hey, Chris Maxilowicz here with the Erica Legacy Foundation. Who are we? We are a suicide prevention and mental health charity based out of Canada that provides resources, programming, research all over the world. We've helped over 5 million youth with our programming that is delivered in schools every day within their own built-in curriculum. What I want to talk to you today about, though, is the one in Denis and we've been doing with him and his group on Twitch. About 3 or 4 years ago, the Erica Legacy Foundation was looking for new ways to raise funds. As you know, for charities and foundations, it's really hard to get more eyes on your foundation and your charity. And we found Twitch to be a place that is very open-minded, very loving, and very caring. And I ran into Denis, who turns out to be a genius of a storyteller, a genius of a technology wizard. And what we've done is we've had a series of fundraisers with Denis and his friends based on the Outlands, which is a whole storyline. I hope you all can go and watch the one in Denis and Barely There and Pawn Star. It's fantastic. It is live role-playing with a digital spin. And because of that, the Erica Legacy Foundation has been able to raise over $15,000 with this group. It's amazing. Now, it's not just because of what Erica Legacy does and what our funds are going towards, which, by the way, on Twitch is 100% of our funds go out back into communities. But it's not only about that. It's about the camaraderie, the community, the connection that Denis and his crew have with people. It's about being engaging and being at a place where people can sit down in their own homes and actually feel like they're a part of a community. Now, not only is that big for our fundraisers, it's big for mental health. As you know, having a strong community is one of the main things a person can have when preventing suicide or dealing with mental health issues. So with that, I have to say that the one-time experiment where we were doing a Ultima Online role-play fundraiser one time has turned out to be a whole series and storylines and edited videos and craziness like I've never seen, which has in fact raised more funds than we could have ever dreamed. And I truly am going to use this moment to thank Denis. He knows he's a king. I tell him it all the time. I love the guy. I love his team. I love Barely There. I love Pwn. I love everybody that is part of this. However, it makes a change. This is the kind of change that we talk about when we talk about mental health and suicide prevention. This is the kind of change that is future thinking, using technology and storytelling to really connect with a person, get them out of their normal pattern, using it as a pattern interrupt for a lot of people. A pattern interrupt is when you're thinking about harming yourself, or you're thinking about depression, or you're in a depressive state, or you have a high anxiety, and you can go onto Twitch. You can see a guy like Denis. You can see our fundraisers. You can join in for 3 hours and be a different person if you choose, because it is a role play, but you can just be part of a community that cares, a community that'll listen, and a community that will, as you move forward and as you watch more, a community that will truly change your life. I urge all of you watching this video to go to Denis, go talk to him, get the links to every show and every member of this group that we do fundraising with, and watch their shows. Truly, I will tell you, truly, even for myself, truly, the experience has been life-changing. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much. EricaLegacy.com. Go hit up Denis, watch all the streamers, and I'll see you in the Outlands.
Thank you, Chris Max. That was Chris Mack from the Charity Legacy Foundation. So now that you have a good idea of really what exactly we raise money for, here's a good example of what we do in a show. So before I go any further with the presentation, I'll show you like my 30-minute cinematic. So each show I structure an improv show like a theatrical show. So I have a nice little intro credits here. I make a 30-minute intro to start the stream off usually, and it'll say pretty much what quest we're at, starting before I do like little side quests. This is like before the countdown starts, just introducing all the characters. This is all done like crude animation style, I'll say, like South Park style is really the way to do it. I use the sound library from the game that I ripped from, I think it was some sort of website that was associated with the company Origin or something like that. And do a show card title, then all of a sudden, election of the hours, I do a countdown where I try to introduce all my actors as well as rate the show and put other useful information while having all sorts of clips show on the side there. So, this is an older show here. This show I think raised about $1,200. Pretty much the first 10 minutes is hey, we're just welcoming people into the Twitch stream, trying to amp them up, see what we're doing. We have timers going off, stating this is what we're raising money for, this is our goal, this is what we're trying to fund through the Eric Legacy Foundation. So again, each one of my actors I use their Twitch clips, I try to highlight them as best as I can to show off what they do outside of what they're about to see them do. So we go through this 10 minutes, then I go into a pretty much a narrational style, like welcome to Election in the Outlands. Today we're raising money for the Eric Legacy Foundation. Like I go off like a narrator, like a sports narrator. I go all time radio on you. After I introduce each one of the characters, introduce our stage managers. It depends how many people we're working with. With the cinematic style, 30-minute style, I don't have stage managers. I used to do a 3-act structure and a 5-act structure, like Shakespeare stuff. And that just required a stage manager to call, all right, NC, run cut scene 1, lights down, lights up, stuff like that, cues for us. I always have a previously seen on to try to, recap everything. So I always do it in black and white to say, like, hey, this is not current, this is in the past. Try to refresh people what they're about to see because it is bizarre what we do. The animation style, what I do is I take famous movie scenes. This is GoldenEye. Actually, this was called a GoldenEye boss. We have bosses which we in the game we can summon, and this one I made a point on it having golden eyes, and I used scenes from GoldenEye in the movie. This one went really well with the people who were in it. What I do is I use the avatars, these characters, these video game characters from people actually within the community of the game. So they didn't sign up to be in this, not at all. Like they show up to a certain place to be photographed each week on Sunday at like this place called Ego's Amphitheater. We get everyone's character and we screenshot them, and we use those screenshots of their characters to put them into these movies to try to pretty much, hey, like show that you're part of the community, you're part of this role play, even though I'm not putting words in these guys' mouths or anything bad or negative like that, but I'm showing that they exist in this world alongside of our adventures. And that is a really good way to make someone feel like they're involved, even though they clearly just showed up to the stream to watch. And that leads to people actually wanting to donate more if they see that, oh, this guy actually values me, I'm in part of this community. So that this one actually has, this one was election in the Outlands. So this one was like political ad campaigns I focused. I made 4 different characters, and the 4 characters existed. I took their characters and I put them into these fake little political campaign ads that they were basically trying to run to be our president. I pretty much green screen, the mouths and stuff. I pull up YouTube, I type green screen mouths moving, and I just key it out and I just throw it in according to the audio that I use in DaVinci Resolve or any other type of program. I use all the music in here, which you do not hear right now because it's just loud and obnoxious. It's all generated through Suno.ai. Suno.ai is a great little engine. You get like maybe 5 or 10 songs free a day, and you can generate some decent background music that won't trigger copyright claims and stuff like that. Even though they say it does, but not to use it for commercial use, but they haven't tagged me yet in anything. So now that we've talked about exactly what the charity stream is that I run, once that cinematic ends, all 4 of us just show up on a Discord like window capture on the screen, and you see our gameplay and you see our faces, and that's pretty much where the role play starts. How did I meet Chris Mack? I met Chris Mack, the guy from the Eric Legacy Foundation, the gentleman we raised money for, through network, just being on Twitch. So there's other ways you can find it. So let's say if you want to raise for FC cancer, you want to raise money for FC cancer, you can go to their LinkedIn page, find their executive director, reach out to him, be like, hey, we're doing a big giveaway, we're doing raising money for you on Twitch. Do you have anything to provide, like giveaway-wise, for incentivize our things? So we, with Chris Mack and the Eric Legacy Foundation, each charity stream, we have prizes up to like $2,000 that we give away. As in like the tiers, so like $100, $250, $500, $750, $1,000. We've given away laptops, we've given away drones, we've given away so many cool things that I wish I kind of won and didn't give away, but it's better than giving away from me. So So they're all toys. And the fact that they've been very supportive, that we've been able to work out this kind of deal where we raise money for them and they provide and incentivize us to actually try to get people to donate through these awesome prizes. And we come up with our own prizes ourselves. In the last charity stream on Sunday where we raised about $1,200, I gave away at least 5 hoodies, 5 Funko Pop figures, and a few other nonsensical keychains and stuff like that. So keep in mind, if you do want to really succeed, there's a good chance that you might have to do some networking. You know, if you want to reach out, try to get in touch with the higher ups at whatever charity, FC Cancer, the Eric Legacy Foundation, the Children's Hospital. You literally find people within the organization to try to help you to make it worthwhile, not for only them, but for your viewers as well, for your donors. So technical specs of this, pretty much OBS. If you have OBS on your computer, Discord on your computer, you're capable of making anything like this. Even DaVinci Resolve, it doesn't take much in today's day and age to run many things on a computer for what we do, like World of Warcraft, streaming, Ultima Online. Ultima Online is a 1997 MMORPG. It takes 0% computing power to run that game. So pretty much, one thing you should know, the one thing I always tell people is when we set up our scenes, so I'm going to create a scene in my OBS of my face and the video game we're playing, and I want it to stack properly. So I'll stack it, I'll have it look nice, but then to get that to outset as your camera component, we use the start virtual camera option. So virtual cam on OBS, pretty much it creates just, whatever you have on OBS, it outputs it as a video camera. So it'll show up as a webcam, whatever's on your OBS. So you can have text on it, you can have anything on there. And click start virtual webcam, you sync it up in Discord to your video source to be virtual webcam, and all of a sudden OBS is your camera. And that's how we do. We create all these little small, it's very simplistic. You just create a little box for your window, your image mask, blend slash to you create a shape, and you just import your sources. It's not a big deal. But starting virtual cam, if you don't know what virtual cam is, it could change your life. Choosing a charity on Twitch, so I chose one that was very close to my heart here because I had a lot of personal loss. And so you find something that you can really relate to, that you can really compel viewers to actually want to donate to, that, hey, show up, this is a good cause, this is a good guy, let's try to get into that goal. And pretty much that's really about it. The best thing to do is find something that's something true and dear to you. I had a best friend died at 25 of cystic fibrosis, and we ran a campaign for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, CS Foundation, I think it was called. Raised about $1,000 for them, and I wish I could have done more but I was just so beyond bewildered with all the support for it's a terminal disease, but it's a very rare, it's not like cancer, it's not like, so you hear that every day, even all the COVID deaths in the past few years. It's the fact that he gathered a bunch of people to raise money for cystic fibrosis, and it really touched me because the kid, he went out too early, so it really touched my heart. So find something, and say your target goal, incentivize your viewers. So right now, I have a thing right now, so I would cut my hair to be like Theo Vaughn's hair, the mullet, if I raise $1,000 for my current charity. I don't want to do that. I absolutely don't. I donate my hair every time it gets to a certain length, so cutting it for the point of raising money, it's still beneficial for me, but I prefer not to, so I'm hoping I don't hit that goal. But you find ways to do it. Some people go very extreme. I got this guy, Isadore, I met him. He's a great guy. In fact, I think Go Carlo and I partied with him one year here at Twitch. We're not TwitchCon. We're at TooManyGames. TwitchCon is another convention that I work at. Yeah, so, yes. Another form of the charity donation. So, say if you have people or an organization that wants to match your donations, not everyone uses Twitch. You'll find that sometimes you'll get involved with corporate donors. Corporate donors will match whatever your final outcome or something like that is, and sometimes they won't have the person to do it through Twitch. So we use Tiltify. Tiltify is pretty much like a third-party, donor site. And they're pretty adamant, present at TwitchCon and a few other conventions that I've seen them at. Pretty much they're like a third-party donor system. So if If you know you're going to have international donors or people who might not be able to use Twitch's website for their host, Tiltify is a great option. It's probably the best option. There's 20 minutes left. I'm not sure if it's going to take all 20 minutes, so we're going to All right, so the improv games and given circumstances. So what I do is once I create the charity stream intro, which is the cinematic intro, this intro picks up, it leads us up to the point where we are about to go on screen. All four of us becomes the moment, the present moment in time. So with that, what I do is I create an outline. I call it a cue to cue, which is a theater term. It's basically what you do, what's next to you, like lights, camera, action. So what we'll do is I'll come up with a certain amount of games to keep us actively talking, actively busy throughout the whole 2 hours of our stream of our improv exercises. And most of it is yes and. Yes and is probably the most generic, basic improv game where you can just say yes and oh. It's like, hey, I want to go to the supermarket, and then your boy's going to respond, yes, and I want to get the bread. You know, you just keep progressing, don't reject. And if you get someone to reject, it's fine, but like, you're supposed to keep going with it. I only reject if it's a very negative or crazy talent situation. So, if an actor starts getting awkwardly emotional or something like that, I'm trying to keep it PG. If they start saying curses, I'm like, all right, let's just go down this. Oh, we're walking by these preschoolers, bro. Maybe we should change our language. You know, maybe you won't want to be talking like a sailor in front of these children. We can find all sorts of situations to try to progress scenes through agreeing with each other and building off one another, because you never know what they're thinking is going to be next. So I always say yes, and I'll find out. Prop game is a fun one that I use a lot. So prop game is, I'll have an actor, since we're all not presently in the same room with one another, I'll have an actor that will be like, hey, here, pass me a mug. So I pass him this mug. So I'm going to hand him this to the camera. What he's going to pull away from the camera will be a whole different mug. So it creates a comedic event of us passing around a cup to one another, and on each different tile of the screen, you're going to get a different cup. And we do that with all sorts of props and games, and that's just another type of improv exercise we can actually achieve because, well, we're not literally present with one another, we're digitally present with one another. And that's the best we can really do in that situation. And it comes out quite comedic in certain situations, because you never know what your partner's going to pull out. Name calls, so like, it's a live show. The next thing, chat name calling. So pretty much what you want to do is find situations within your improv exercise, within your acting scene here, to acknowledge the people who are here talking shit to you in chat, you know? It's like, hey, we got Joe Hendry over here, he's talking guff in the chat, you know, try to give him a little shout out, because every time they get a little acknowledgement, they feel more involved, they feel more like they should be there, like now I have to donate, I'm making this show better, all right, here's $5 towards your cause, thanks for acknowledging me, boys. You find all sorts of different situations like that through acknowledgement. It's basically like, hey, we're happy you're here, and we wouldn't be here without you. So the least you can do is find situations, or at least what we do, is find situations to call out our donors, anyone in our community, make it like more than just 4 people. It's the group thing, even though only 4 people are on that screen, all of us are there together. So there's so many more exercises, but honestly, we never have to actually do anything too crazy. It just flows. Once you get on screen with everyone, there's enough to do within an MMORPG to keep you busy for, well, forever. So, Ultima Online, I know I touched on it a little bit. It's a 1997 MMORPG created by Richard Garrett. And it was created, it was published by Origin. I think eventually it was bought by EA. And now I think Broadsword, a company within EA, handles it. And they're just absolutely awful. The retail servers are trash. There's so many free ways you can get to play Ultima Online these days. UO Outlands, UO Forever is like a retail clone of the shard of the retail servers. UO Outlands is a reimagining. I think that is like Ultima Online 2. And I know there's a few other Age of Shadows, a few other expansion pack-based Ultima Online servers that are out there. And it is what it is. It's a good game. It's free to play. It's got a major learning curve. So So what does the money we raise goes towards? So what do we raise? Why are we raising? So to this day, we raised around $15,000 for the Eric Williams Foundation. I've raised about $22,000 altogether in my time on Twitch for various causes, mostly for cancer, cystic fibrosis, and I would say suicide prevention and would be the three major causes. We've had 9 shows, so I made the wrong decision of trying to distinguish the talk shows from quest shows, and like now I'm saying I've done 8.5 shows, but really it's 9 shows. I don't really count the talk show, even though they're all talk shows, but one of them was just like a shorter, abbreviated version, so we've done about 9 shows. My 10th one is coming out. It's going to be Combat in the Outlands. It's going to be a Mortal Kombat spoof using the same type of animation style and the same type of gimmicky improv style that we have, but it's actually going to be a boxing match instead of like us talking in a tavern. So it'll be actually an event where players can actually participate and beat the crap out of one another. That's our next one. Election videos, I showed you guys that clip where we pretty much, you saw the cinematic, you have a good idea of how that works. Prizing. I touched on prizing a little bit. You can see here that we have given away some amazing things. I think one of our main prizes for raising $2,000 one time was a Chicago Cubs World Series ball signed by at least half the team, or I'm not really sure how many signatures out of it, but one of my guys in Texas picked that up. He got lucky and won that giveaway. So we've given away Viva Vendetta signed photographs from Hugo Levy. We've given away Quest t-shirts, projectors, those wireless chargers for your phones. For the GoldenEye one, we gave away GoldenEye Lego sets, which was great. And those were all provided from the Eric Williams Foundation, like this drone and laptops. Those are all from our charity that we raise money for. The ones that I provide, the giveaways I provide, are like nice t-shirts and stuff like that. Like very minuscule type, affordable stuff for me. They're a big organization. They can afford to buy laptops. I could barely afford to have an editing PC. Marketing is a big thing, so to let people know, because if you don't market your show, nobody's going to show up to it. Just like how I marketed this panel, and I got everyone to show up for this panel here. Thanks, GoPro. But, you gotta basically figure out a way to let people know. And the best way to do it, Discord spam. Go to the server's Discord that you're playing the game in, talk about the event in the appropriate category. Go to all your friends' Discords. Find that place where it's share the stream links or share whatever videos or share something for you that's just not about them. Post it there. Post it everywhere. Do it multiple times throughout the week. Don't do it multiple times a day to harass and spam them. You'll find a good concrete method every 3 or 4 days. Give a reminder, because if you don't remind people, they're not going to show up for that time slot, and you need them to show up. Another type of promotion I've been starting to invest in, we don't really have to do it because we have word of mouth, is Google Ads. Google Ads is a pain in the ass to get set up. It really is. You gotta verify your ID, you gotta deal with all this nonsensical stuff, but you can get through it, and eventually you drop like $5, $10, and they'll drop like an ad video before like people are watching videos. I mean, you're that non-clickable ad. It's not what I enjoy doing, but it does help you get subs, it does help you get promoted. I made a YouTube partner, and I've been making $5 or $6 here and there on YouTube since. So, get as many Discords as possible. Just don't stop talking about it. If you stream, throw up a poster on your stream of that ad. The big thing about marketing is creating all these posters. I know I don't have really many listed, but I do have a few of, I think yes, like these posters right here, these are all ads on this slide of all the different events. I have Christmas in the Outlands, which is a December baseball, Christmas, the GoldenEye balls, and the election in the Outlands. So pretty much, you should try to find a way to either even AI art if you really want, or just find ways to Photoshop in a very effective manner to get your message in a smaller brief. Where is it going to be? Who's going to be in it? And what is it? So pretty much who, what, and when, where. All the dubs, just pretty much hit those, and you will have all that, hopefully. We're going to talk about shooting terror parody, we're going to talk about getting circumstances, where's the money go? Yeah, that's fundraising. So on our last charity fundraiser on Sunday, where we raised $1,200, we had a $1,000 goal, and for our $1,000 goal, it funds one participant in a 10-week therapeutic role-play program. The role-play program is delivered by a certified therapeutic game master and uses framework and a role-playing technique to explore the 6 spheres of life, using the acceptance and commitment treatment therapy model, and it really focuses on the emotions. It's like a one-on-one role-playing guy. So we that's just one of the services. $500 when we raise that, we're like a huge step towards this virtual reality project. This phase 1, they've been raising about $50,000 to try to get, I guess, all these VR headsets into their school to help distract some troubled youth from basically create a virtual space for wellness and compassion. And that's their main goal of trying to get the VR into their heads, distract them from the drama that they deal with in their world and bring them into a whole different world for a few minutes. And then we had goals going all the way down there. We fund text messaging, preventive text messaging, just to let kids know that they're still loved and appreciated. And we a bunch of other ones, pretty much good services, man, good services. The Eric Williams Foundation has helped millions of kids and young adults as well. So they've done some great work, and they definitely rewarded us with prizing and all sorts of amazing things like that. So pretty much other topics I really wanted to talk about. I mean, the animation we touched on. The animation is pretty much South Park, style editing. It's not the hardest to do. Just every few frames, you just mash it up a bit and have fun with it. Reference all the things that you like pro wrestling. I wrote my master's thesis on pro wrestling. I have a lot of love for all the dirty humor that pro wrestling has created. I love Vince McMahon despite all his flaws. Like if he didn't take that one shot with the urinal pan in that scene with Steve Austin in the hospital, man, I don't know how I would have grown up. So yeah, pretty much, boys, that's about it. I would say, any questions from my great audience? No? Go Carla and sound crew, thank you. All right guys, I'm done.
You have more people, but they're gone now.
Thank you guys.
You had a good crowd, you had a good crowd.
Yeah.